Hello, everyone, and welcome to Be the Greater Good Live, where we have a chance to highlight AmeriCorps VISTA members and the impact of their service in communities across the country. My name is Meg Ansara, and I'm the director of AmeriCorps VISTA, and I am thrilled to be with you here today. Today, I get the opportunity to speak with two VISTA members whose service has impacted refugee communities. We're going to discuss their experiences, including their inspiration for serving, the unique needs of the refugee communities they served, and the significance of serving those communities. While their experiences are unique, they are joined by hundreds of VISTAs who have served and continue to serve refugee communities. In 2020 alone, AmeriCorps VISTA members helped leverage more than $1.2 million for refugee communities and helped to support more than 1,600 refugees across the country. I am so proud to say that VISTAs are helping to get such important work done. So I'm not going to spend any more time because we're here for the discussion. So let's go ahead and get started. I am thrilled to welcome Lily and Kelly.
Thank you, Meg.
Thank you, Meg.
Hi, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. I am so excited that you have both joined us today. And I want to start just with one of my favorite questions to ask VISTA members. What brought you to AmeriCorps VISTA? What inspired you to serve and to serve with VISTA? Kelly, why don't we go with you first?
Okay. I've been interested in serving, well, to start off, I've been serving with, I'm a VISTA leader serving 2 terms with the Alliance. And at first, I was interested in serving since I graduated undergrad in 2016. I kind of got a little distracted and worked as a flight attendant. But originally, my inspiration of serving with immigrant and refugee communities come from my mother. I was the daughter of an immigrant, and my mother was a flight attendant. So seeing the cultural perspective from my mom really influenced me in wanting to serve with immigrant and refugee communities.
That's amazing and awesome in terms of your background as and your mom's as a flight attendant. I can totally see how that's relevant to your service. What about you, Lily? What inspired you to serve?
So what definitely inspired me to serve was the fact that I am an immigrant myself from Ukraine. My parents adopted me when I was around 1.5 years old. And since then, I've always been a huge advocate for the refugee community and the immigrant community as well. I am currently in Rochester, and there's a huge population of Ukrainians here, which I thoroughly enjoy being a part of that community when I can. And that definitely kind of encouraged me to join AmeriCorps VISTA. I also went to Brazil in my high school years with Rotary International. And so through these experiences, it definitely pushed me and motivated me to continue to serve and to continue to do what I'm doing now, which is working within a school system that I really enjoy doing.
That's so great. I'm always so inspired by kind of the personal connections and motivations that really bring members to AmeriCorps VISTA. It's always so powerful, just as it is with the two of you. For folks who are still joining us, welcome. I'm joined by Kelly Olivo and Lily Lynch, and we are talking about AmeriCorps VISTA serving refugees. Would love for you to, in the chat, tell us where you're joining us from in terms of location. And also, I have lots of questions. I always have lots of questions, and we'll start with mine, but encourage you to also ask questions in the chat or in the Q&A, because we want to make sure that your questions get answered too. So Lily, I'll go back to you with this. Would love for you just to briefly describe a little bit more about your VISTA project and kind of what your service looked like in terms of serving the refugee community in Rochester.
Sure. So my placement for last year, which is when I was a VISTA, was at OASIS, the Office of Adult and Career Education Services. There, I focused on the MAC program, which is Making a Connection, which was helping students from the ages of 16 to 24, I believe, working with them to help them achieve their, get their diplomas, get their driver's license, or get their permits, and then just kind of helping them overall assimilate into the Rochester community. It's extremely difficult for anybody entering the country for the first time, and so we're just trying to help them, start them early and trying to give them all these resources that they can use to ultimately achieve self-sufficiency. So that's kind of what our goal was. And we did a lot of, field trips when we could, even with COVID going on. We did a lot of field trips, including like snowshoeing. We went bowling. I can't even remember. We did so many things, believe it or not. And sometimes, even with the snowshoeing, for example, that was a first experience for a lot of our students. Even for me, I've never gone snowshoeing before. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yes, it is.
So that was kind of, we were just kind of supporting them in their, their academics, their career, their health, their financial, and just like their overall community integration. So that was kind of the main goal of my project when I was a VISTA last year.
I love that. It's, to me, just such a great encapsulation of kind of the VISTA philosophy, right? Which is both individual as well as community capacity building,
Exactly.
right? You have maybe the needs of today, like a driver's license,
Yeah.
but we also have those social and emotional needs around connection, community, joy. Those things are so important, especially when facing such hardship. What about you, Kelly? Tell us more about your service, both as a VISTA member, but now as a VISTA leader.
Yeah, so this is my second service term serving with the Alliance, a refugee resettlement agency in Houston. During my first term, our project was titled the Houston Refugee Project, and that project was geared towards building the capacity of refugee agencies in Houston. So we had some members at YMCA, some members at the Alliance, some members at Houston Furniture Bank. And for our project, we were really geared towards building the capacity of these organizations to help community members gain self-sufficiency for opportunities, especially career opportunities. So for the Alliance, really focusing on some holiday coat and toy drives, getting those essentials that they need around the holidays, especially as it gets a little bit colder in the winter. For World Refugee Day Houston, really promoting the stories and the journeys and the culture of refugees to the community. And we also have a refugee mental health and wellness conference that the Alliance hosts every year. And that specific conference is specifically geared towards educating professionals in the social workers, educators, other refugee involved professionals to really talk about the needs of refugees and the best practices that we can implement to really make sure that the needs and resources of the refugees are being met.
Thanks, Kelly. You touched upon two things. Both of you have, through your service, provided really critical needs to refugees, right? Again, those really tangible things like a coat, furniture, for folks who in so many ways are, rebuilding and starting from scratch in such a different place than where they previously lived. But Kelly, you also touched upon some of the celebration and also the acknowledgement of what refugees bring to our communities, right? This is a two-way relationship. It's not just about their needs, it's about how they make our communities and country better as well. I'd love to hear, either one of you talk about what that looks like, how you've seen refugees, both individually or maybe collectively, kind of enrich the community in which you've worked.
Absolutely. So another event that the Alliance hosts is called United We Dine. And I think the last time we held it was actually in 2019 because of the pandemic. But for United We Dine 2019, that was actually at the beginning of my VISTA service in, I believe, November 2019. And for that, we saw a bunch of different tables coming in for this one event. So we had, some food from one refugee community and another refugee community. And it was a fundraising opportunity for us. But we had all these different cultural cuisines being presented from all over the world, all in one place, really highlighting the importance of the refugee community here in Houston. And for World Refugee Day, it's just another opportunity to really showcase that, whether it's refugees graduating from high school and moving on to college, or maybe they're finding jobs. Some of them are getting married, starting businesses. We have another program at the Alliance, the Community Cloth, and that's an opportunity for refugees to use their skills from their home country, whether it's making clothes or hats, knitting. They can use these skills and then they create their own businesses, whether it's on Etsy or going to farmers markets or anything else. They get to create their own little enterprise.
I love that. It's incredibly powerful. Lily, anything else to add in terms of how you've seen refugees, kind of build and further strengthen, enrich your community, either through your work or just residentially?
Right. Sure. Well, I'm thinking of a very specific individual that he was a student with us for a while. His name is Khalid, and he had a dream of opening up his own restaurant to serve his own native food. So that was, I'm trying to remember, I always pronounce it wrong, the gyros, the hummus. He opened up his own restaurant right on a very busy street. And called Master Falafel, which of course he serves really good falafel. And I personally am not a huge fan of falafel, but I go there all the time just for his falafel. It's so good. It's just so cool to see a student being able to achieve their goal that they want to do and actually seeing it to fruition. And he really is an inspiration, honestly, to me as well. He opened up his first restaurant. I can't remember the year exactly, but it was a couple of years ago, I want to say. And it didn't do very well, and that was his first time doing it. And he just was like, okay, I'm going to do this again. Persevered, and now he's running a very successful restaurant. And so I think that's such a good example to show, that the motto that a lot of refugees think of America, where you can really make your own in this world, in this country. And he's doing that as we speak. So that's definitely one of the big examples that I always am reminded of when I'm oh, can I do this? And it's like, yes, you can do really anything you want. And then another example is a lot of our students this past year, they all graduated from MCC, Monroe Community College here in Rochester, with their associate's degrees. And they are now all, I believe all of them actually have moved on to a 4-year university, pursuing their degrees in various majors, such as business. One of them is going for computer science. Another is going for, wants to continue learning global studies, kind of evolving her knowledge of that. And a lot of them have gone to University of Buffalo, RIT. We have a lot of connections with surrounding schools in the area as well. So it was really, it was great to be a part of that process, watching them graduate from their school, and then moving on to another 4-year, university where they can get their degrees and even, just keep going up from there. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just it was very rewarding to be a part of that stage in their life. Definitely. That wasn't planned for me at all, but, I'm thankful for that experience all the time. And even in my job currently, I've kind of, we're trying to integrate some of the refugees that come to Uncommon schools in Rochester, also called Rochester Prep High School. We do have some refugees that go there. So we're kind of, encouraging them to join the MAC program and to get those resources that they might otherwise not be able to receive. So, there's just so many, I could keep going. I could keep going on, honestly. Yeah. There's so many examples that I could use for, the question that you asked. There's so many, but I don't want to, I don't want to keep going
Super
too far.
inspiring.
Actually, Lily, you just sparked a memory for me with mentioning that restaurant. We had a table at United We Dine, Afghan Village, and he's been in the community for a couple of years. He started his restaurant, so he's been here for a couple of years, but now we see him helping other refugees coming into Houston that are being resettled here, offering them jobs, continuing that cycle of helping others when they were once helped.
And it's funny you mentioned that too, because our student, Khalid, he also has hired a couple students within the community, as well as some of his friends, to really just continue that cycle, that really positive cycle. So I'm really excited to see what else is going to happen within our community of Rochester, honestly.
Incredibly inspiring in terms of paying it forward, and truly thinking about not just your own needs, but the needs of the community. I love this. One last question for me, and then I definitely going to see if we've got questions from the group. But please definitely add your questions to the chat. If you haven't told us where you're joining us from, please do that, or add the questions in the Q&A section. I'd love to, and Kelly, I'll go back to you. There are many different ways to serve and support refugees. What role or kind of unique contribution do you think that Vistas can add in terms of supporting refugees? What's the role for the program, and what advice would you have for other Vistas who, like you, are passionate about serving and supporting refugees?
I think the role of Vistas in serving refugees is really in just what Vistas do, capacity building, right? And capacity building, you can do it in so many different ways, whether it's outreach, promoting events, promoting fundraisers, promoting drives for any kind of need, whether it's coats, toys, diapers for children, sanitation materials. The need is out there, and it's really pushing that out into the community and to the people that have the means and resources to actually donate. Recruitment's also another large one. The Alliance has a mentor program for our refugee youth. So we're constantly looking for mentors for our mentees, as well as just volunteers to help us with airport pickups, to help us furnish apartments for refugees, to help them, with their grocery shopping, because they might not have their driver's license yet. Just simple things like that. And my advice for VISTA members who are serving, I think, is just to look at the big picture. I think as a VISTA member, it's really, really hard sometimes, and sometimes even a little discouraging, is that we do indirect service. Right. So it's a lot of the capacity building, a lot of organizing and promoting and recruiting. So you might not always see the immediate impact of your service, but I promise you it's there. You just have to look at the big picture and look down the road of how you posting on social media, or you making a social media graphic, or you recruiting 1 or 2 volunteers. It makes a big impact in the long run.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes that capacity can't be as tangible in the day-to-day, but in terms of reach, really has such incredible impact. Lily, what about you? How else do you think that VISTA specifically can support refugees?
So yeah, I believe that Vistas really have this great opportunity to be the bridge between between the organization and the community itself. So just providing these like small little, things that you and I might just say, oh, well, we already have that. It's just little things that we forget that are really important. And even not for refugees, but in the entire community of Rochester specifically, there are a lot of organizations that there's a need for Vistas. There's a need for them to be active in the community and to assist not only the refugee population, but also other areas of population, minority populations, underserved populations. And I think that if anybody were to join, to become a VISTA, excuse me, it's important. Again, I agree with Kelly 100%. It's important to really look at that big picture. I mean, there were many times in my VISTA year where I was feeling very discouraged because I felt like, I was like, oh man, I really wish I could just do this one thing. Like, I wish that it wasn't so much indirect service. I wish I could have done a lot more direct service. But honestly, I really did a lot looking back, posting on our Instagram page, making the events look really cool on a flyer, really encouraging our students to come out and join us. And because of that, a lot of students were able to see areas of Rochester that they've never seen before. They were able to go to, for example, they went to the Lilac Festival with us here, just super big. If anyone's not from the area, it's just a celebration of lilacs, which I love. And so we walked around the park with them, and they were like, wow, this is like the first time I've gone. And I was like, oh my, I was like, well, I'm glad you're here because this is a great event to go to in Rochester. And they were saying, oh, I'm going to bring my family here next time. I know some of them went back the next day to take photos in front of the lilacs. And it's just, I just love seeing like them get really excited about all these new things. Because a lot of times when, you're introduced to new things, it's scary. And you're like, I'd rather stay in my little square, my little comfort zone. And
Totally.
and I think a VISTA is also plays an important role in encouraging refugees to kind of get out of their comfort zone a little bit and to show them that like a lot of the stuff that is around them in their, in their community, in their neighborhood, it's really, it's just like home, it's going to be their home, and to just kind of, explore their home. And it just is really encouraging for them. And, I know a lot of them have gone out to new restaurants. I recently took a student out, I think a couple months ago, but we went out to a diner in Rochester. She never went to this diner, and it was like one of the most popular places in Rochester. And she was like, oh my God, I'm going to come back here again. And, it's just so fun to bring them to new places that they can come back on their own with their own family members and be like, look at this is like a new place, like they have really good food. So just giving them that sense of autonomy, I guess, that sense of control that they probably were kind of missing when they're going into a new country. I mean, I remember the one thing I always remind myself is, when I was living in Brazil for a year, I didn't know the language. I didn't know anything that was really going on. I was just kind of like going through the motions for a little while. And it was really confusing. And sometimes it was a little bit intimidating. So I always kind of remember those feelings that I had, and kind of think like, oh, I bet you that's probably how they're feeling as well. So I always am trying to really encourage them to do things that they wouldn't want to do. So I would say to any VISTA to just keep those things in mind, and that, your service is always really important. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. So
I agree. We've got time for like one or two questions. So I'm going to bring in my colleague, Tessa. Tessa, do we have any, welcome. Do we have any questions from the group that's joined us today?
We do. I have one question for both you and for both Kelly and Lily. How have you translated your AmeriCorps service into pursuing work with refugees and migrant communities? So first question.
Why don't we go to Kelly first, and then if we've got time, go to Lily. Kelly?
Can you repeat that for me, please? I'm sorry, my dog was barking.
I have a cat, so I understand. How have you translated your AmeriCorps service into pursuing work with refugee and migrant communities?
That's a really great question. So my AmeriCorps service with refugees has been really influential in my career path. I'm currently pursuing a master's in human rights from the University of London. I'm currently in the last semester of that master's program, and currently having to write a thesis question on that. So I'm currently looking at actually using my position at the Alliance as research for my dissertation, for my thesis. Don't ask me what my thesis question is. I haven't figured it out yet. Still a work in progress, but I feel really fortunate to have this network of people that I've been serving with the last 2 years that I could ask questions with. And I have been doing that, getting informational interviews, like, is there a need for research, that I could do? So that has been really useful for me in my career trajectory.
So I'll kind of add on there. So I currently my position is working within a school right now. So it's not necessarily directed towards refugees, but I because of working as a VISTA with refugees, which is one of my main goals in life, I have started to really consider what my options could be after this job. And one of them was to go for my master's degree, similar to what Kelly is doing, with global politics, things like that, that I can really kind of sink my teeth into and really start getting towards the career trajectory that I would like to do in the future. So even at the school, I'm really trying to recruit some refugees, or even kind of introduce myself to some of them, and letting them know, like, hey, like, I am a resource. I'm here. I have worked with refugees in the past. Like, I'm no stranger to that. And I would love to, if you need any help, like, you can totally come talk to me. And just keeping that door open for them. So while my job isn't necessarily like working with refugees directly, again, it's another form of indirect service, you could say, where I am, still promoting, still reaching out, and still continuing the VISTA service almost that I did my year prior. So hopefully with these goals in mind, I hope to, really continue to work with refugees. As an immigrant myself, as I've said before, it's definitely a goal of mine, and I'm very, very determined for my goals. So check back with me in a year, and I'm sure I'll have a different answer for you that's even better than this one.
And I just wanted to add on to that, because of course, Lily, every time you speak, like, you spark like memories for me. I think the professional development opportunities that have been afforded to me through my service term with the Alliance have had a big influence on my career trajectory as well. I'm talking like our conferences, the Refugee Mental Health Conference. I've been able to attend that twice, has been extremely useful for me. Even just, the webinars that get forwarded to me from my site supervisor, from other staff at the Alliance, have been involved in, different kinds of professional development opportunities that are specifically involved with refugee services, that are specifically aligned with my career trajectory. So just those opportunities through, my service term have been invaluable to me.
And I also totally forgot to mention this, I don't know why, but I am a Rotarian now with the town of Irondequoit. And so we are looking at getting a student from Oasis actually to come and talk to the Rotary Club about their experience at Oasis, their experience as a refugee. And that was because of me, because I mentioned the fact, I showed them the promo video that I made for the MAC program itself, and they, that really sparked a lot of interest, a lot of discussion of, the difference between a refugee and an immigrant, all these little aspects that some people kind of forget when it comes to that population. So I'm really excited to get that meeting rolling. I think it's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks, but that's just a real life example of the two interests in my life just crossing over each other. So I'm very excited for that.
All right, we have one more question. What would you tell someone who's on the fence about serving with VISTA?
I would just say go for it. Like, just go for it. You have literally nothing to lose at all. It's a great resume builder. It's a great year of experience. I got so much experience through my VISTA year that I don't think I would have gotten in a regular, internship, 9-to-5 internship, definitely. I was able to kind of pick where I wanted to be serving in, the community I wanted to serve, and I was able to stay in my area. I didn't have to go anywhere, and it's a great. I'm trying to think. It's a great, just like I'm trying to think of the word. So, for example, when I graduated from college, I wasn't really sure what job I wanted to do, but I knew what I was interested in. And so I went right in, and I was like, Vista year is the perfect place to start. And I highly encourage any college graduates that are like, I'm not really sure yet what I want to do exactly, but I know I'm interested in this. Go for something that is, go for the program that you are interested in. And even if you end up not loving it at the end, you have that year of experience. You have so many things under your belt that you can put towards another job or another passion of yours. So that's the best advice I could give.
Yes, I definitely agree with Lily. I think that if you're interested in service and you're on the fence, definitely go for it. My only advice beyond that would be to really consider which program you want to serve, because NCCC, state and national, VISTA, they're all very different. So really consider the kind of service you want to do. If you want to do direct service, really be engaged with refugees or really be engaged with the community, VISTA is definitely one way to go, but VISTA is in direct service. So you might be a little disappointed that you're not teaching a class or you might do something. So state and national would be the program for that. If you're on the fence of VISTA service, I think go for it. It's a really great opportunity. I've been here for 2 years for a reason. Beyond that, with VISTA service, just really consider the commitment, because this is a 12-month commitment. For some people, they think like 1 year, I can do it. You have to do it every single day, right? Week after week. So really consider that year-long commitment. And if it's something you really think you can commit to and you're still on the fence, do it. Jump in, you won't regret it. The experience, the network, professional development opportunities, it's all worth it, I promise.
Thank you so much. Those were really great answers. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for questions. So I'm going to pass this over to Meg, and thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks, Tessa. And huge thank you to Kelly and to Lily for joining us and for sharing just your insightful perspectives. Thank you so much for your service. It is clear that you've done unbelievable things. Thank you so much for everyone joining us. We had over 140 participants, which is awesome. Folks from Hawaii, Alabama, Ohio, Indiana, Maine, Florida, Nebraska, Texas, Michigan, Missouri, New York, Kentucky, and New Mexico, and I probably even missed some. It's so wonderful to have you all here. We love seeing the shout outs in the chat. So I just, for all of you, whether you're a current member or an alum, because I know we've got some of those too, you, just like Kelly and Lily, are such great examples of the impact that service, and specifically AmeriCorps VISTA, can have. So thank you so much for listening in. And I invite you to join us for our next conversation and just more stories and valuable perspectives of VISTA's getting incredible things done. Thanks, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, everyone.